Your stomach knots up right before a hard conversation even starts. Your heart races before you consciously feel nervous. A sudden wave of unease hits you in a room before anything visibly changes. Notice a pattern? Your body seems to know you're stressed before your mind catches up. So here's the real question. Why does your body react first, like it's picking up on danger your brain hasn't even processed yet? The answer lives in a nerve most people have never thought about, one that spends most of its time sending messages upward, from your organs to your brain, not the other way around. This is how your body talks to your brain, and it's talking way more than you think. And here's the thing, this isn't a one-time fluke. It's not just some weird glitch that happened to you once before a big meeting. It happens over and over, in totally different situations, and every single time, your body gets there first. Think about the butterflies before a big decision, that fluttery, unsettled feeling in your gut before you've even weighed the pros and cons in your head. Or that tight band across your chest that shows up before you can even name what's bothering you. You just feel it, tight, loaded, waiting. The trigger comes later, if it comes at all. This pattern isn't a personal quirk. It's not your anxiety being extra or your body being overly dramatic. It's built in. It's wiring, which means it's worth paying attention to instead of just pushing through it or trying to talk yourself out of it. But it gets stranger than knots and racing hearts. Sometimes this shows up in ways that feel almost impossible to explain with logic alone. You walk into a room, nothing looks different, nothing has been said yet, and still, something in you shifts. A wave of unease rolls in before there's any visible reason for it. You might even say something like, "It just felt off in there." And you'd be right, something did register, just not in the part of you that uses words first. So this isn't only about stress before a hard conversation anymore. It starts to feel like your body has its own kind of intelligence, picking up on signals your conscious mind hasn't sorted through yet. Which brings us back to the real question, the one sitting underneath all of this. Why does the body seem to know before the brain does? Who's actually running the show here? Is your brain really the one giving the orders? Or is something else going on? Something quieter, constantly happening in the background, that we've just never been taught to notice? Hold on to that question, because the knot, the racing heart, the unexplained unease, they're all pointing toward the same hidden system. And once you see how it actually works, you'll never think of your body as just a passenger again. Here's what's actually happening. There's a nerve running from your brainstem down through your neck, your chest, and into your gut, called the vagus nerve. Most people have never heard of it, but it might be the busiest communication line in your entire body. And here's the part that flips everything you'd assume. Most of its fibers don't carry instructions from your brain down to your organs. They carry information the other way, up. From your heart, your lungs, and your gut, straight to your brain. Picture it less like a chain of command and more like a newsroom. Your organs are out in the field, constantly gathering information, heart rate, breathing depth, gut tension, and sending it back up the wire. Your brain sits in the newsroom, receiving report after report after report. It's not shouting orders down to the field nearly as often as it's reading incoming updates. So when your heart rate ticks up, or your stomach tightens, that's not your brain reacting first and telling your body to panic. That's your body reporting a change, and your brain finding out about it after the fact. Which means your brain has a job most people don't realize it's doing constantly. It has to take all that raw data, heart rate here, gut tension there, breathing pattern shifting, and turn it into something you can actually understand. This process even has a name. It's called interoception, your brain's ongoing habit of reading signals from inside your body and assigning them meaning, so that knot in your stomach before a hard conversation isn't random. It's gut tension, reported upward, that your brain interprets as unease, often before you've consciously figured out why you're uneasy at all. The feeling shows up first, the explanation catches up later. And this upward reporting system isn't limited to obvious stress moments. It stretches into places you'd never expect, like the trillions of bacteria living in your gut. Research has found that gut bacteria activity can influence signals traveling up the vagus nerve, which means your mood can shift without any conscious trigger you can point to. That brain fog that shows up out of nowhere on a random afternoon, the kind that makes you feel foggier or older than you actually are, can sometimes trace back to inflammation signals coming from your gut, quietly reported upward the whole time. Not something you did wrong. Just another update your body was sending, one your conscious mind never got a memo about. So here's the real shift in thinking. We tend to picture the brain as the boss, sitting at the top, issuing orders, while the body just carries them out like a good employee. But the wiring tells a completely different story. Your heart and your gut aren't quietly waiting for instructions. They're talking, constantly. And your brain spends most of its energy listening and interpreting, not directing. That tight chest before you can name your trigger. That sudden wave of unease in a room before anything visibly changes. Those aren't your brain malfunctioning. They're your organs doing what they've always done, sending the report up first, and your brain scrambling to catch up and make sense of it. Which means the mystery from the beginning finally starts to make sense. Your body isn't reacting to stress after your brain figures things out. Your brain is building its sense of stress, unease, and alarm out of the raw signals your body sent up first. The body isn't following the brain's lead here. In a lot of ways, it's the other way around. So let's go back to where we started. That knot, that racing heart, that wave of unease in a room before anything visibly changed. None of that was your body malfunctioning. None of it was random. It was your body doing exactly what it's built to do. An early reporting system, sending updates upward before your conscious mind had time to build a story around them. The knot in your stomach before a hard conversation wasn't your nerves betraying you. It was simply an early report, arriving on schedule, the way it always does. But here's where this gets genuinely useful, not just interesting. That same pathway carrying signals up from your organs to your brain isn't a one-way street. It's mostly one-way, yes, but not completely. And that small opening matters more than you'd think. Certain physical actions can send a message back down that same line, one that actually changes how your brain interprets what's happening in your body. You're not just stuck reacting to whatever your gut and heart report. You get a way to respond. The simplest way to do that is through your breath, specifically the exhale. When you slow down your exhale and make it longer than your inhale, you're stimulating that same vagus nerve, but this time you're using it to send a calming signal upward instead of an alarm. It's like sending a message back through the same wire that just delivered the knot or the racing heart, except this message says, "We're okay, stand down." One practical way to do this: inhale for about 4 seconds, then exhale for about 8 seconds, roughly doubling your exhale compared to your inhale. Keep that going for around 2 minutes. That's it. No special equipment, no app, no lying down in a dark room required. Just breath, paced deliberately, using a pathway that's already there and already listening. So here's the full picture now. Your body sends the first signal. Your brain interprets it, often before you consciously understand why. And then, if you choose to, you can send a signal back, using the exact same nerve, the exact same conversation, just running in the other direction for a moment. It's not about eliminating stress or making that knot disappear forever. It's about knowing the conversation is happening at all, and knowing you're allowed to talk back. So next time you feel that knot in your stomach before you even know why, or that tight chest with no obvious trigger yet, remember what's actually going on. That's your body sending an early report to your brain. It got there first, like it usually does, and a slow exhale, 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, for about 2 minutes, is simply you answering back.